apple trees, blood on the leaves, breeze, breeze, blood on the leaves, breeze, breeze, blood on the leaves, breeze, breeze.
The book that we read is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. The characters is Atticus. He's a lawyer and he has two children, Jim and Scout. Scout is the narrator. She's a young girl around 6 years old. She talks about in her perspective how she's becoming of age. She's learning a lot of things about her community. She's learned a lot about racism. She's learned about different ways of life. In the meantime, she meets a young boy named Dill during the summertime, which actually helps Jim and Scout kind of explore their neighborhood. There's a neighbor that is across the street. His name is Boo Radley. It's the Radley family. And the rumors spread around since they were little was Boo Radley was sent to his home because he was into a lot of trouble with the Cunninghams. Their father Nathan just kept them in his home. He was able to walk every morning. They were able to see him walk every morning to and fro, but never really talk to them. But Dill comes in the picture. He's around 7 years old. He's a friend, and he starts to tell them, "Hey, who is this? Boo Radley?" And that's when they started to exploring by acting out the scenes, getting in trouble by their father Atticus, saying, "Hey, you guys gotta not, stay out of that." They actually went to the point of going to the house through a dare, which kids around that age, that's something typical, to dare each other to do things. So once again, they're growing up and learning things. So they did the dare, and throughout this whole book, they're finding little things differently from the Radley's home. One day they're walking home from school, they find these gum wrappers inside of the hole of a tree. Scout takes it. The first time, Jim gets after her. The second time, Jim and Scout sees it, and Jim takes it. So now he's beginning to be more susceptible to Dill's and Scout's wondering about, who Blue Radley is and what it's all about. As they were acting one day, Scout accidentally had fallen and got too near the Radley's property. Jim started to yell at her, like, "Get out of there, get out of there." She moves right away, but she hears something. She hears laughter. She's not too sure who it was. Jim is her brother, very overprotective over her. But as he's getting a little bit older, he gets a little annoyed by her sometimes and tells her to stay out of the picture while him and Jim play. But all the time, she's always right near them, ready to explore with them. Scout's kind of his conscious, because he likes to do things that he shouldn't do, which is very daredevilish. Like one time he went to with Dill to go peek through Radley's shutter, and he almost got shot by Nathan, Boo's brother. He got away, but once again, Scout was there to tell him not to do it. He's in Tal's dad, but he threatened her.
So in the story, Atticus Finch is the father of Scout and Jen, and he is pretty much a pillar in the community. He's a very well-respected lawyer, well-liked. He's a very, very intelligent, very, very well-spoken individual. He's moral, and he treats his kids like adults. He tells them the truth. he is honest with them. He's straightforward. On page 76, Atticus tells Scout in the story, you have to keep your head high and keep those fists down. No matter what anyone says to you, don't let them get your goat. Try fighting with your head for a change. It's a good one, even if it does resist learning. So that statement, Atticus is pretty much telling his daughter that in life, people are going to get at you. People are going to try and get under your skin. And as much as you want to go ahead and swipe them upside the noggin, you can't. You know, sometimes you have to take the high road. And by taking the high road, he was talking about using your head. Using your head. And that's something I think a lot of people tend not to do. So I think that shows that Atticus is, you know, a pretty wise character. And Atticus shapes Scout's life in a really essential manner because he's a beacon of justice, and he does things without he does things without a necessity for flair. For example, when he proves that a character, Bob Ewell, is a liar in the courtroom, he does it unceremoniously. He does it very politely. He doesn't get in your face about it, and he knew he was right. And he doesn't take it upon himself to act in a gaudy or, you know, exuberant manner. It's kind of hard to state how important Atticus Finch is as a character, you know, in real life. Because in the legal profession, you know, a lot of lawyers look up to Atticus Finch as a kind of model figure as to what they aspire to be. In the book, Atticus knows he's going to lose the trial. He's defending a black man who's been accused of raping a white woman. And he knows he has an all-white jury against him. And he's going to give it his all. And in the book, he states, in our courts, when it's a white man's word against a black man's, the white man always wins.
Tom Robertson's character is the start of the controversy in To Kill a Mockingbird. He's defended by Atticus, a lawyer. Tom Robertson's character shows a hard worker, honest, and to prove that, the judge assigned Atticus specifically to defend him. Also, Link Dis, Tom Robertson's boss, also knows of his character, that he would not do such a thing as to what he's being accused of. Mayella Ewell accused him of rape. She also knows of his character. Because of her own guilt of being attracted to a Negro, and at that time, in that society at that time, it was considered wrong for a white man to be with a black, whites would be to be with blacks, excuse me. And so also the church, the church community also supported Tom Robertson and knew of his character of being an honest man. He is and was a person that was just caught up in this situation. He was innocent and he was taken advantage of. And by being taken advantage of was he was always willing to help people. And he was helping out Mayella Ewell one day, and she took advantage of him. Even though the society knew, and as Atticus proved the Ewells were lying, and they knew that he didn't rape Mayella, they still found him guilty. So he did become a Mockingbird. Macomb County and Boo Radley are quite the same. And what I mean by that is Macomb is a small town in Alabama. Boo Radley is just one person in the small town of Macomb. How they're similar is Boo Radley is hidden from society and the things that he does, which he secretly puts the gum in the tree, the watch for the kids. He's watching everybody pass by and the things that they do. Macomb is doing their own thing, which is they have a innocent African American on trial. They know it's not right, but they're getting away with it because it's in a small town. It's not being publicized, just as Bob Bradley is not being publicized in the community. He's hidden. In the community of Macomb, the leaders and neighbors, the farmers, they all participate in the KKK. For the mystery of Boo Radley is all the things that people said about him, how he allegedly stabbed his dad with the scissors. So they have put him out as a bad person. So the mystery with him is he turns out to be a kind person. The fire that happened to destroy Rachel's house, Dill's aunt. During that time, it was really cold, and Jim and Scout were outside, and mysteriously, Scout ends up with a blanket. Find out later that Bob Bradley's the one that covered her. Another two things that are compared to Macomb and Boo Radley is both killed a man.
This is a foreshadowing that at the end, Boo Radley was going to save Scout and Jem from Ewell, who was trying to kill them. After all of these events, Scout finally understands that what Atticus meant by, "You never really know a man until you stand in his shoes."
Right, mockingbirds do not do any harm, and that Mockingbirds provides music to us. Mockingbird comes out when people need them the most. So a mockingbird is like a person who's like generous and is willing to help people when it's time. Tom could be a mockingbird because he's generous, and his generosity cost him his life. Killing Tom, to kill Tom is to kill Mockingbird. Another mockingbird is Boo Riley. Boo Riley is always in his house. In also the story, and at the end he takes part to help Scout and Jim to protect Scout from getting hurt from Mr. Ewell, and in a way, when Mr. Tate talks up to Scout why they don't want to tell the truth about how Mr. Edward died, because they don't wanna like kind of kill the innocent of Boo Riley, because if they tell the truth, the whole town could they could put their own family in danger by not telling the truth and making up a lie about the death. In a way, Boo Riley's Mockingbird's status is preserved.